National VIPs, President and Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Philippines, His Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Secretary of National Defense, Honorable Delfin Negrillo Lorenzana, Military VIPs, Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Andres C. Centino, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Commanding General, Philippine Army, General Romeo S. Bronner, Jr., Armed Forces of the Philippines, Commander, Army Reserve Command, Major General Fernando V. Pilepi, Philippine Army, Group Commander 9, Regional Committee Defense Group, Colonel Patricio S. Tomales, Infantry, General Staff Force, Philippine Army. Commission Officer 902nd, Zamboanga del Norte, Community Defense Center, Major Eladio V. Lumantas, Civil Engineering, Philippine Army. President, Germesio System, Dr. Dailinda R. Lapo. NSTP Director, Dr. Rachel G. Daimin. NSTP Unit Head, Dr. Noel G. Lopicilio. Commandant Germesio Army ROTC Unit, Major Eladio V. Lumanta, Civil Engineering, Philippine Army. Assistant Commandant, Second Lieutenant Nicanor B. Obnimaga, Reserve, Philippine Army. Chief Clerk, Corporal Roderick C. Acoimo, Infantry, Philippine Army. Tactical Officer, Captain Cesar C. Bala, Reserve, Philippine Army. Second Lieutenant Joey Peter M. Villaruz, Reserve, Philippine Army. Senior Tactical NCOs Reservists, Sergeant Journal B. Lapo, Reserve, Philippine Army. Admin Co. Admin NCO, Private First Class John Ray A. Maglasang, Infantry, Philippine Army. Tactical NCOs Reservists, Staff Sergeant Gerald Rich M. Soto, Reserve, Philippine Army. Staff Sergeant Michael Ri Elven S. Boreros, Reserve, Philippine Army. Staff Sergeant Nancy E. Aranwes, Reserve, Philippine Army. Staff Sergeant Maynard O. Kumisila, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Rodel G. Patangan, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Richie A. De La Rosa, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Charlene E. Tagapan, Reserve, Philippine Army. Graduate Military Assistant, GMA. Private Adams N. Sumalpong, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Nilo B. Lagradila, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Gerson Paglinawan, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Rico Jack G. Tawato, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Glenn Mar G. Ulinan, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Shahara Meng M. Jain, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Gisrel M. Pasculado, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Vincent Jubilee G. Cadana, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Ray R. Dayaw, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private John Ray P. Balidares, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Jovin Ray E. Sakal, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private John Fretz C. Cuenca, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private John Paul P. Urong, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Michelle B. Andicoy, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Vance Alester L. Pagasian, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Mark Jel S. Lagamon, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Glycel Faith D. Carino, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Glyza Claire C. Canaog, Reserve, Philippine Army. Private Jessalyn Elopri, Reserve Philippine Army. Private Mabel B. Singkay, Reserve Philippine Army. BDE Corps Commander, Cadet Colonel G.P. Montediramos, ROTC First Class. Executive Officer, Disciplinary Officer, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Roderick L. Cadorna, ROTC First Class. BDE S1 Adjutant Officer, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Bless T. Manlupig, ROTC First Class. BDE S2 Intelligence Officer, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Ronel V. Bailon, ROTC First Class. BDS 3 Operation Officer, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Ramel P. Samson, ROTC First Class. BDS 4 Logistic Officer, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Sheila May P. Azores, ROTC First Class. BDS 7 Liaison Officer, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Jamaica S. Lagudas, ROTC First Class. 1st Battalion Commander, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Jomari T. Osabel, ROTC First Class. 2nd Battalion Commander, Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Gifford C. Ferrigara, ROTC First Class. 1st Battalion Executive Officer or Disciplinary, Cadet Major John Mark T. Clemenia, ROTC First Class. Battalion S1 Adjutant, Cadet Major Kathleen Ruz E. Apaw, ROTC First Class. Battalion S2 Intelligence, Cadet Major Jericho T. Osabel, ROTC First Class. Battalion S3 Operation, Cadet Major Jason A. Jamorolin, ROTC First Class. Battalion S4 Logistic, Cadet Major Ma Aluna J. B. Alpon, ROTC First Class. Battalion S7 Liaison, Cadet Major Chenli R. Selva, ROTC First Class. 2nd Battalion Executive Officer Disciplinary, Cadet Major Brian P. Banuelos, ROTC First Class. Battalion S1 Adjutant, Cadet Major Robilin B. Magdawong, ROTC First Class. Battalion S2 Intelligence, Cadet Major Hansel D. Zozobrado, ROTC First Class. Battalion S3 Operation, Cadet Major Raymark O. Lakay, ROTC First Class. Battalion S4 Logistic, Cadet Major Mary Joy C. Maghinay, ROTC First Class. Battalion S7 Liaison, Cadet Major Rowella A. Bernadette B. Kinlog, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Mary Chris A. Lidama, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Aaron G. Kalasang, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Stephen G. F. Takliad, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Juvenal P. Katilok, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Christian G. Sardin, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Arian Faye N. Palangan, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Baby Janela G. Canieti, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Gino A. Carbonella, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Kent O. Dampaila, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Remark S. Anio, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Brittany D. Agwet, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Rickman V. Cabanyag, ROTC First Class. Cadet Major Mark Gen L. Prociso, ROTC First Class. Cadet Captain Lister V. D. Ikaw, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Richard S. Zamoras, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Joseph B. Miral, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Erwin T. Palomares, ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Aurelio L. Flores, Jr. ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Ken Troy F. Maghanoy ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Rowen Vincent E. Samunduran ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Jefferson N. Makiling ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Blaze Jason H. Iting ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain May Angel S. Conato ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Rimar B. Bimos ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain June Kenneth B. Diserdo ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Jonathan D. Gumanad ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Kevin M. Dilicano ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Linchi Kyle S. Abapo ROTC Second Class. Cadet Captain Lavelle Jean T. Maginsay ROTC Second Class. Military Professionalism. Men who adopt the profession of arms submit their own free will to the law of perpetua constraints of their own accord. They reject the right to live where they choose, to say what they think, to dress as they like. From the moment they become soldier, it needs but an order to settle them in this place, to move them to separate them from their families and dislocate their normal lives. In the world of command, they must rise, march, run injured, but weather and go out without sleep or food. Be looked in some distant post, work until they drop. They have ceased to be the master of their own fate. If they drop on their tracks, their ashes shall be scattered in the four winds. That is all part and parcel of their job. Pledge of loyalty. If you work for a man in heaven's name, work for him. Speak well of him and stand by the institution that he represents. Remember, an ounce of loyalty is worth a pound of cleverness. If you must grow, condemn, and eternally find fault, why not resign your position? And when you are in the outside, dumb to your heart's content, but as long as you are a part of this institution, do not condemn it. If you do, the first high wind that comes along will blow you away, and probably you'll never know why. Military courtesy, an act of politeness, civil, and respect that the personnel in the military organization accord to one another. Military discipline. It is a state of order and obedience existing within a command. Military leadership. It is the process of influencing men in such a manner as to accomplish the mission. Military secrecy. What you see, what you hear when you leave it here. Salute is the highest form of courtesy. General orders. 1. To take charge of the post and all government property in view. 2. To walk my post in a military manner, keeping always on alert and observing everything that takes place within sight or hearing. 3. To report all violation of orders I am instructed to enforce. 4. To repeat all calls from posts more distant from the guardhouse than my own. 5. To quit my post only when properly relieved. 6. To receive, obey, and pass on the sentinel who relieves me all orders from the commanding officer of the day, and non-commissioned officer of the guard only. 7. To talk to no one except in line of duty. 8. To give the alarm in case of fire or disorder. 9. To call the commander of the guard in any case not covered by instruction. 10. To salute all officers, colors and standard not case. 11. To be especially watchful at night and during the time of to challenge all person on or near my post and to allow no one to pass without proper authority.